everyone, and welcome to EVE Talk, your weekly look at the EVE Online markets. I'm your host, delonewolf, and I've been doing a few more duels, and it's been pretty fun so far. There are some tips in the comments, which I will try to incorporate in my gameplay. I feel a bit like I'm still a keyboard turner in World of Warcraft. I got past that, so I'll try and use the shortcuts for my duels as well. If you're interested in doing a duel with me, feel free to contact me or join the EVE Duels channel. Keep one thing in mind, my aim is not to do duels every single day or anything like that. My benchmark is basically that it's gotta be fun for me, and I gotta enjoy doing the duels and making the videos about it. So we'll see how much I can manage. That's still up in the air, and only some more experience will be able to tell me that. Anyways, we're here for the markets, so let's have a look at those. And we'll start off once again with Tritanium, which is 586 in system for one sell order, 592 for another one, so that's still pretty much the same. Chart looks a bit better, at least you can see right now that it's just below 6 ISK and pretty flat for quite a while, at least since the beginning of the year. So let's move on to Pyrite, which went up quite a lot since the beginning of the year, but does seem to be flattening a little bit at the moment. Let's have a look at prices in Jita. 1556 for the sellers, 1546 for the buyers. Yeah, I don't think it's really gonna breach 16 ISK if I look at this 20-day moving average. But the Pyrite's still pretty damn high, especially if you consider the entire 1-year chart. So Scordite is definitely a good moneymaker for the miners at the moment. Let's see what Mexalon is doing. Terrible chart again, although we can finally see that it's going around 50 ISK, probably something like that. 51 ISK for sellers, 51.97. So that's actually a 1 ISK jump between one sell order, which is pretty small and will be picked up pretty soon, I suspect. And almost 52 ISK for the real sell orders, and then 51.09 for the buyers. Let's have a quick look. You can see, although it's not very visible because of that bad data point, but for most of the year Mexalon has been quite a bit higher, probably 60 to 65 ISK, and now it's back down to around 52. So it's still decent, I think, but yeah, do keep in mind of course that Mexalon has dropped. Let's move on to a quick look at Isogen, which is around 150. On the whole year it's still pretty high, but it has corrected a bit after the expansion. Let's have a look at Noxium. That's again a very bad data point, so that's going to be hard to tell. It looks pretty flat on this chart, but I know it's not as flat as this one makes it look. And 808 for the sellers, 774 for the buyers. So I'm not really sure how to place that historically, but I would say pretty high actually for the entire year. Moving on to Megasite, what's that one doing? Pretty low for the year actually, although it dipped below 2000. It's holding on at the moment since the beginning of the year at 2150, yeah, 2100, in between 21 and 2200 I would say, and the buyers 20, yeah, just below 2100. So that's really not a lot of margin on Megasite either, but well, decent prices, although all of this is probably speculation due to the mineral changes when the drone loot was changed. So still, if we discount that, it's moving in a band of 2000 to 2500, and so yeah, seems like pretty normal prices. Maybe I'll have a quick look at 3-month chart, because it is a pretty expensive mineral, and well, we can see that it's dropped a little in the last 3 months. So yeah, Megasite seems okay, but historically not that high to me. Let's have a look at the impact on the Tech 1 chips then. The Drake still probably holding on above 50 million, although some 5-day moving average and data points dipped below that again. Let's have a quick look at prices in station. Just above 50 million for the sellers, although one sell order is below 50 million, and then buyers at 48,500, so really not a lot of margin. But the Drake has recovered quite nicely from its downward trend when the missile nerf was announced late this summer, last summer. So yeah, it recovered quite decently actually. Let's have a look then at a larger Tech 1 ship, the Maelstrom. Here you can see that it knew this uptick at the expansion, and overall it's pretty stable at the moment, I would say. So pretty much in line with what the minerals are doing. Most of them are pretty high, a couple of them are low, but really the base minerals like titanium, pyrite, it's up a little but not drastically, and Mexalon is holding on for since the beginning of the year, and so the Maelstrom also pretty flat since the beginning of the year, above 200 million though, so 213 for the sellers, 205 for the buyers, not really a lot of margin there either. Let's move on to the Tech 2 market. Have a quick look at the Guardian. Maybe I'll head up on the 3-month chart. Well, yeah, like I said, you can see the 5-day moving average bobbing up and down below and above the 20-day moving average chart, but it's just not as pronounced as what it was before last year. The data points, they still go up and down quite violently though, so pretty decent market to trade in still, just not as lucrative I think as what it was last year. Let's have a quick look then at all the margins on the logistics cruisers. So the Guardian, 129 for the sellers, 122 for the buyers, that's 7 million, it's a bit less than last week, so it's closed back already. Basilisk, 129, 121, 8 million ISK margin. It's okay, I'd like to see more, but it's still okay. On Euros, 139 for 127, that's a 12 million ISK margin, that's a decent margin. But once again, I think the On Euros is traded less than all the others. So although more profit per ship can be made here, there's probably a limit to how many you can move in any given day or week. And then finally the Scimitar, 132 for 126, so that's just 6.5 million ISK margin. That's really not a lot, but you can see though on the Scimitar chart that the 5-day moving average seems to move quite a bit more violently. A general uptrend on the 20-day moving average, which is pretty interesting. There were definitely some buying opportunities in the Scimitar market. Just this week is not one of them because the margin has closed quite a lot. Let's move on to Tech 3, smelted nanoribbons. That chart's probably going to be pretty flat, although, whoa, look at that, 5-day moving average did take off towards 5.6 million. Slowly pushing the 20-day moving average up towards 5.4. Let's have a quick look at prices. 5.620 for the sellers, 5.478 for the buyers. Yeah, 5.6, that's up from last week, definitely up for a against the last few weeks is what I wanted to say. So that's pretty interesting. Let's see how that translates for Tengu prices, which have been on a downward spiral for quite a while and doesn't seem to really have stopped that just yet. What are the prices now? 174 for sellers of Tengus. Oh my god, that's really low. 167, 168 for the buyers. Yeah, that's really low. Let's see if it's had an impact on another Tech 3 like the Loki. You can see a small jump in the 5-day moving average, although this one is still trending down as well. Currently at just 180 million for the sellers. Maybe I'll have a look at the other Tech 3s just very quickly. Cruisers, strategic cruisers. Let's have a look at the Proteus prices. 190, 182. What does that chart look like? At least here you can see that the jump in nanoribbons is mirrored in the Proteus 5-day moving average chart. So that one might be going up actually. And I already checked the low key. Let's have a look at the Legion then. Whoa, the Legion, man, that one's taking a punishment. These are the 3-month charts, but yeah, even on the 1-year chart you can see it's pretty low. 175, 169, and that's pretty low. So for the Tech 3 market, only the Proteus seems to be the exception. So might this one be popular for some reason? I know that armor tech trees are very popular in wormholes. Might there be a doctrine in 0.0 coming out with them as well? Pretty interesting. All the other ones pretty low historically speaking, and yeah, if you want to pick up a tech tree, I'd say they're pretty cheap at the moment, and you never know when that's gonna change. But it does look like supply is ample and stable, and thus prices historically are pretty low for tech trees at the moment. Pretty interesting. Moving on, a quick glance once again at technetium. Well, it's up a little, almost 85,000. Is this all speculation or is something going on? I'm not sure yet, but that's pretty interesting. Let's have a look at a 3-month chart. Up, 20-day moving average did go up after that big spike. Although it's going to be interesting to see if it can maintain its momentum or not. I personally think it's speculation. I haven't really read anything that's going on too much in the technetium market. I could be wrong, of course, and not in the know enough that this could be a trend. So yeah, if you're a trader in technetium, there is definitely an upward movement going on at the moment. I couldn't tell you what's behind it. Let's have a quick look at Galente fuel blocks then. Slowly trending up, but nothing too drastic. Still around 13.5k, so I don't really think, if you look at the 1 year chart, that still looks pretty damn flat. A personal interest after the introduction of the ancillary armor repair, that's a lot of A's, the price of paste. Let's have a quick look. What, nanite repair paste? There you go. Yep, that was a trading opportunity, a buying opportunity if you ever saw one. Obviously, with the paste being used as a charge in the armor booster, in the new armor repair system, that one went up quite a lot. Let's have a quick look here. What the bottom for the year was, even below 15k. Some data points above 35k. And 20-day moving average seems to be settling at 27,000 ISK. So that was definitely a buying opportunity once you learned that nanite paste was going to be used in the ancillary armor repair module. So yeah, that just once again shows how important it is to be on top of the news and all the changes coming to EVE Online. That can make you a lot of ISK. I mean, you could have probably made 6,000 ISK on 20,000 ISK buy orders on nanite repair paste. That's a lot to be made in just a few days or weeks. Finally, we'll check out the Plex. As I've said in another video, I've bought one at 509 and one at 535. Downward trend still seems to be going. Very low data point here, well below 500 million. Let's have a look at prices in station. Whoa, 503 million for the sellers, 492 for the buyers. I would never have expected that. You could pick up Plex once again at 490 million. Man, I can't imagine how much speculative money this means that there was actually in the Plex market at this point. Obviously the sales from CCP are helping supply and are helping manifest these very low prices, but yeah, I was totally wrong on my bottom at 550 million. You can once again buy Plexes below 500 million. I hope everyone that's paying their accounts with Plex is happy with this and keeps this in mind as well. The next time we see a speculative jump in Plex prices, they do come back. This is very interesting. I have money for another one. I'll probably try and buy one at around 490, something like that, because I do think that the speculative bubbles will come back and that these are good investments for the longer term. But 503 million for the sellers, that's amazing, an amazing pullback, which basically it is mirroring last year's chart, just with a delay compared to last year. On the visibility of the chart, I should say. Now that we're a few months in, you can see that this downward trend, the 20-day moving average, did break once again around the expansion. So that's very interesting, and I'm curious to see how low that Plex will go. But at the moment, I'm dollar cost averaging that one. When I make one, I take a look at the current prices and then I place a quick buy order. And there we go, server downtime in 1 hour. Just as I end this EVE talk. Hope you liked it, and I'll see you all next time.